A good day, everyone. Welcome to the STEM Digital School. This is grade 4 Natural Sciences and Technology. All right, so guys, today we'll be continuing from where we left off yesterday with energy and change. And remember, the topic that we are looking at is energy and energy transfer. Right. So I hope everyone is good to go. You have your books with you and your textbooks. Guys, just a quick reminder, please do not switch on your videos throughout the lesson. Please do not switch on your videos throughout the lesson. You can raise your hand if you have a question or you just want to add maybe, to what we are talking about, or if you want to give an answer to a question that I have asked. Okay. All right. Let's get into it. Let me just wait for the three others to join us. All right, cool. Can take it away. Okay, so we were looking at energy and energy transfer. All right, so that was yesterday where we looked at energy as well as energy transfer. And we played the crossword puzzle. Okay, so we had terminologies or words that we had to know the definitions to, which were food, energy, work, movement, sun, change, light, heat, absorb, reflect, transfer, as well as chain. And I told you guys that you do need to know the definitions of these words. Okay. All right, so now we're moving on to our next subtopic, which is energy from guys, sorry about that. There was a network error on my side. Sorry about that. Okay, guys, that was a network error from my side. Yeah? Sorry about that. We're back now. I asked a question. Yeah? Asked a question about the sun. What do we mean when we talk about the sun, or what is the sun or the sun? Okay, so if you had previously sent through your answers to the group chat, please just resend them again. Or you can raise your hand. Okay. Right, Zoe.
Hello, ma'am.
How are you?
Fine, thanks, and you, ma'am?
I'm well, thanks. Okay, so Zoe, do you have an answer for us?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, take it away.
Ma'am, energy from the sun can be used for many things, like for giving electricity to a solar house or a solar
Okay,
oven or a
okay,
solar
okay.
pool.
Just hold on, Zoe. My question was, when we talk about the sun, what are we talking about? What is a sun or the sun?
The sun is a star.
It's a star. And what does it do or what does it give the earth?
It gives the earth light in the day.
Okay. So it gives the earth light, and it also gives the earth something else, you know, that the plant use. What do the plants use from the sun?
Energy.
Energy, correct. Beautiful. Thank you very much, Zoe.
Ma'am?
I'm saying thank you very much.
Welcome, ma'am.
Awesome. Okay. Right, so the sun is the star, and it is the energy source for the earth, right? Because it gives through sunlight energy. Okay. So I see more hands. It's here. Jordan?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you have an answer for me?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am,
Okay.
we get energy from the food that we eat.
Okay, so we get energy from the food that we eat, and the energy came from the sun. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, beautiful. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see a Tyron.
Ma'am, plants use the sun's energy to make food for them, and then we eat the plants and get energy from them.
All right, beautiful. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so I see we still have 3 or 4 hands that are still up. Okay, you can keep your hands up. I'm sure we're going to have a few questions as we go throughout the lesson, and you guys can give me answers to those ones. All right. Okay, so we get almost all our energy on Earth from the sun. So that is very important. That is why the sun is very important for the Earth, because we get almost all our energy from it. Okay, so this energy is called solar energy. I think this is also something that Zoe mentioned, right? Solar energy. So that's the type of energy that we get from the sun. Then the sun is the closest star to the earth, right? So we mentioned that the sun is a star, right? And then a star is a giant ball of gas which releases energy. So some of this energy from the sun travels to the earth in rays, okay? And then some of the rays are light that we can see, and other rays are like ultraviolet light as well as X-rays that we cannot see. So the light that we can see is called visible light. Okay, so I think some of your textbooks also speak about visible light. Right, so sorry, here we have a beautiful picture of the sun, which was photographed by NASA. Okay, so let me see, I think I have some answers in the group. Okay, so Malik says the sun is a big star of energy. That is correct, Malik. Thank you very much for that. Okay. Right, so guys, can I move on from this slide, or do you guys need some time to write down? Just use that yes or no button on participants. Okay, I see a no, yes. Okay, so if your answer is no, just indicate to me when you're done, all right? Or you can also just respond in the group chat, okay? Okay, so to all those who came late, welcome to class. We are still continuing with energy and energy transfer, all right? Okay, Zoe, I see your hand is still up. Maybe you have an addition for us. Zoe, do you have something to add for us?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Ma'am, and the sun, when we go outside and play, the sun also gives us vitamin D.
All right, beautiful. So the
And
sun
ma'am,
also gives us vitamin D, and that's a very important vitamin. Yes?
ma'am, and if we
Mm-hmm.
have, and if we stay out of this, and if we stay in the sun too long, you can also
Mm-hmm.
get sunburn.
All right. So we only need only a selected amount of vitamin D from the sun. Okay, so that is why it's
Yes, ma'am.
advised that we apply sunscreen when we go basking in the sun. Right, thank you very much, Zoe.
Welcome, ma'am.
Awesome. Okay, Taryn, I see your hand is also still up. Taryn?
Miss, you said we get most of our energy from the sun. Where do we get the rest of the energy?
Okay, so some of the energy might come from the water, right? So you know, like water has waves, right? So the water waves. So some of it also
Yes.
comes from the water waves.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
awesome. Boom. Okay, so let's hear Jordan. Okay, guys, if you are done, just indicate for me so we can move on.
Ma'am, can I read from my textbook?
Okay.
All living things need energy. We need energy to grow, play, work, and sleep. We get energy from the food we eat. In this topic, you will learn that the energy in our food comes from the sun. In topic 3, you learned that plants need light to grow. Plants use the energy from the energy in sunlight to make their own food. They use the energy in the food to grow. In this topic, you will find out that we also use some of this energy.
All right. Okay, beautiful, Jordan. So tell me, what did you understand from what you have just read for us?
We get energy from the food we eat.
Okay, and where does
And
that energy come from?
the sun.
Okay, beautiful. So we have a transfer of energy taking place. Okay, thank you very much, Jordan.
You're welcome.
Right, so can we move on, guys? Are we done? Okay, seems like we can, and everyone is on par. Okay, I see a no. All right. Just, I'll wait. I'll give you guys one more minute now. I see more hands. So let me just take the hands. Meninke. Okay. Can't seem to unmute your mic, Meninke.
Hi, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Hi.
How are you today?
I'm well, thanks. Yourself?
I'm good. Just looking for any. Okay, so I'm just going to be reading a few things. Okay,
All right.
energy in our food comes from the sun. The sun is a ball of burning gas. See in figure 4. Well, it's here. The gases give off energy as they burn. The energy in the form of heat and light. This heat and light travels to the earth in invisible waves. But how does this energy get into our food? Plants use the energy of the sun to make food. Plants need water, soil, and sunlight to grow and make food. And how does the energy from the sun get into the plant? Plants absorb
Absorb.
the energy. Yes, absorb
Okay.
from the energy from the sun by a special process called photosynthesis.
Photosynthesis.
Yes.
Photosynthesis. Yeah.
The Greek word photo means light, and synthesis
Synthesis.
means to put together. Plants
Right.
take in the sun, the light energy from the sun through their leaves, like in figure 5, which helps them to grow and store food. Animals and people then eat the plants. We can then say that energy comes from the sun now in our bodies.
Right. Okay, manager, just hold it there, ne? Just hold it there.
Yes.
Because the part that you're going to read now is what we're going to cover in class. Okay, so just hold it there. What did you understand from the passage that you have read for us?
Ma'am?
Or what have you understood from the passage that you have read for us?
I've understood that the energy comes from the sun as it heats into invisible waves,
And
and
those
comes
invisible, okay.
from the plants, and it gets to the plants sense with their leaves, and we eat those plants, and whichever energy that they had comes into our bodies.
All right, perfect. Okay, beautiful. Thank you very much for that, Meninka. I hope
Yes,
everyone is paying attention. Excuse me?
It's just too much to read.
It's just what?
2 more.
2 more.
Yes.
You have like 2 more sentences to read, or like 2 more paragraphs.
2 more paragraphs.
Okay, maybe time later. Ne? Let's just finish up with the lesson. Okay. All right, beautiful. Thank you very much for that, Meninka. I hope you guys got the gist of what Meninka was reading for us. Okay. So remember, we are still at energy from the sun, and we said that we get almost all our energy on Earth. We get it from the sun, and we said that the sun is a giant ball of gas which releases energy. Okay, and some of this energy from the sun travels to the earth in rays. Okay, so we have a visible light, which is rays that we can see, and then we also have the other rays which we cannot see, and these are your ultraviolet light as well as your X-rays. Okay, and here is the picture of the sun. I believe right now everyone is done. Okay, right. Cool. Now let us look at the process of how these rays enter, how the energy rather enters the plant. So when the rays reach the earth, some are reflected back into space. Okay, so you guys remember the definition of reflection? I can't remember who gave us the definition, and they were like, it is like looking in the mirror. Okay, but we will get to the definition now. And then the earth absorbs most of the solar energy. This heat warms the earth and the air around it. Okay, so some of the rays are absorbed, some of them are reflected back. Right, so here we have a beautiful picture which depicts to us how reflection takes place. So from the sun, these rays come through here, right? So once they reach the surface, some of them are reflected back. So they are not absorbed by the earth, but some of them enter, and they are absorbed. Okay, so that is why we say we have reflection as well as absorption. Okay. So if you guys just want to add these two bullets in your notes, then I'm just going to give you guys like a minute or two and take any hands. Okay, so I see Miracle. Miracle's hand is up. Let's see what Miracle has to say to us. Miracle? Okay, we can't seem to hear you, Miracle. It's probably something with your sound. Guys, the video is off. Please, no? The videos should be off. Do not switch on your videos. Right, so Miracle, you can just use the group chat to send through your response. And then let's see, Zoe.
Ma'am, so how does some of the sunlight and some of it absorbs? So why does some of it?
Ooh. Okay, so it seems like you are. Just repeat your question for me, Zoe. I couldn't hear clearly.
So why does some sunlight absorb into the earth and some reflects back into space? Why does that happen?
Oh, okay, cool. So here at this part, we have clouds, as you can see. It's like something like clouds or like a covering around the earth. Okay, so it's not all of the rays which can enter. All right, so that is why, and also you should remember the rays, they come with different energies. Okay, so they don't all have the same energy. So the ones with a lot of energy, they manage to push through and they become absorbed. The ones with less energy, they just hit that part and they reflect back into space. Okay, so it's about the energy of the rays. All right.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, cool. I believe we are done. Guys, videos need to be off. Nzako, your video is on. Can you please switch it off for me? Okay, thank you very much. Right, cool guys. So we are moving on. So right now we have plenty of knowledge about the sun and how it gives energy on Earth. Okay. Wow. Okay. Right. So here we have the definition of reflect. Yeah? We said it's a throwback of heat, light, or sound. And then to absorb, this is taking in or soaking up of something. So remember the example that we gave yesterday about the sponge and it soaking up water or absorbing water. Yeah, that is what we are talking about when we talk about absorption. Okay, so without the sun, the earth would be a cold place with no light. Energy from the sun has many different uses, and we are going to get into these uses on the next slide. So if you guys want to take down these definitions, I'll give you guys a minute and just hear what the people or rather those who have their hands up have to say. Okay, Nzako? Nzako?
Sorry, ma'am, there was a mistake.
Oh, okay, no problem. Thank you. All right, Zoe.
Oh, hi, ma'am.
Yebo.
Okay, like we all know that the sun is made out of stars, right?
Okay.
So how do the stars heat up so the earth could be hot?
Okay, so the sun is not made up of stars. The sun is a star. Okay. So remember on the previous slide, we said that the sun is a ball of gas, right? So it already has heat, it already has energy. But the energy or the gas that it emits toward the earth, it differs. Okay, so that's why we have some rays that are reflected and some of them which are absorbed. Okay, so it is already heated up where it is there because it's a ball of gas. All right, do you understand?
Not really.
Okay, so next term, we are going to look at the sun in greater detail, and then hopefully you'll understand. And we're also going to look at the Milky Way, the galaxy, and everything like that. Okay, then maybe then you will understand properly. So right now, all you need to know is that the sun is a ball of gas. It already has its own energy. Okay, and some of that energy is released in
Okay.
rays. Yeah.
Now I get it.
Okay, beautiful. All right, thank you. Okay, so are we done? Can we move on? Okay, I'll take more hands now. So now we're getting into light and warmth. And some of your textbooks probably say light and heat. So just get on the correct, sorry about that. Get on the correct page so that we can continue. Right. Cool. So we use light from the sun so that we can see during the day. We use the energy from the sun to warm us up. Okay, and here we just have an example of people enjoying the sun on the beach. And the fact that we also have the sun, it actually also warms up the water a bit so that we can, enjoy ourselves at the beach. Okay. Right, plants use light from the sun to grow. Menenke shared a reading from her textbook, right, about how plants use the sunlight and they get energy from there, and the energy is also transferred to us once we eat the plants. Okay, so we're just going to get into that. So plants use light, water, and air as requirements for plant growth. As the plant grows, it stores some energy in its roots, leaves, as well as fruit. Okay, very important. So guys, this slide is very, very important. Okay, and here we have an example of the plants which use energy from the sun to make food, such as the mealie plant. Okay, and we know that the mealie plant, most of its food is, or most of its energy is stored in the fruit, which is the mealie that we happen to consume. All right. So I'll just give you guys a minute to jot down all that is on the slide. And let me see what's going on. Okay, so Siabonga is asking a question. What would happen if the sun came closer to the earth? You would probably disappear, like burn up. You know how there is a climate change? The sun is not, it's not even moving closer to the earth, or the earth is not even moving closer to the sun. But now the ozone layer is wearing off. Okay, so the earth only needs a limited amount. The earth only needs a limited amount of rays, okay, to come to actually enter the earth. All right, so we only need a limited amount, and not all the rays from the sun need to enter the earth. Otherwise we're going to have extreme heat, okay, and most probably all the ice is going to melt. We're going to have floods. It's just going to be a disaster. Okay. All right, Siabonga, I do see your request. Let me just give people time to write down what's on this slide, and then I will move back. Okay. All right. A minute, I see your hand is up. Okay, Malik is also adding, saying that we won't have any water. This is probably because of the immense evaporation that will be taking place.
Ma'am,
Okay. Yebo.
I just wanted to tell you that it's going to be 3. I'm going to be reading 3 more. There are
Or
lots
3
of,
more paragraphs.
yeah, lots of things over here about, what's it called again? About energy.
But now, Akira, you should now choose the paragraphs or the passages which are relevant to what we are dealing with.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Awesome. All right, Zoe.
Ma'am,
Mm-hmm.
so why is energy so important? Why can't
Why
we
is
just
it?
live without energy?
Because we need the energy. Remember, we said that the definition of energy is the ability to do work. So that if we do not have energy, then we cannot do any work. And with work, we mean those 7 life processes of living things. We need energy in order to fulfill them. To breathe, we need energy. You know, to walk, we need energy. Even to continue eating, we still need energy for that. Okay, so that's why even from birth, or rather not even from birth, but from when you're still in your mom's tummy, you are eating in there. You are energy is being transferred to you while you're still a child growing in the tummy. Okay, so energy is a requirement on Earth. If you do not have energy, then the Earth is going to be dormant and inactive.
Ma'am, what does that mean?
It just means that we won't be active. Like it's just going to be like, okay, still and no movement. We're going to be like, you see the table that you're sitting on now, or like that you have in front of you? Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
that's how Earth is going to be if there's no energy. Okay,
So,
are you
ma'am,
sorted?
do you even need energy when you sleep?
Yeah, but you do need energy when you sleep. You do need, but you don't use as much energy when you're sleeping as compared to when you are awake. Okay, because remember when you're sleeping, you're still breathing, right? So you are still using energy when you are sleeping. Okay.
Yes,
Right.
ma'am.
So let me just continue here. Siavanga says they are good with the slide. All right. So we covered this now, guys. Amanda, you can write your question. Oh, you raised your hand. I'll come to you now. Okay. So let's look at animals eating plants to grow. Okay, so the energy which is stored in plants is used by the animals for life processes. Okay, so remember those life processes: you're breathing, you're moving, you're reproducing, feeding, growth, excretion, etc. And so plants get this energy, or rather, sorry, animals get this energy from plants. Okay, so here we have an example of cows eating grass to get their energy. And another question that you guys might ask is, what about animals that eat animals or animals that do not eat plants, your carnivores? So your carnivores will eat a herbivore. A herbivore would have eaten the plant. Okay. All right. I see hands. Wow, we have quite a lot of hands. Okay, let me see. Toby. Toby. Okay. All right. Amanda. So guys, remember to write down that.
Yes, ma'am. I was asking at 12, right? It says that it's coding, but we're doing natural science.
What are you talking about?
Ma'am, on the where they zoom, right? It says at 12 it's supposed to be coding, but then we're doing natural science. I'm confused.
Is it by the timetable?
Yes.
Okay, I'll check that out. Coding is usually before natural sciences.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll check that out and
Yes,
get it
ma'am.
fixed up. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Thank you. Right, so guys, are we done? Can we move on? Are we done with this? Okay, so Amanda, they say coding is at 2. All right, coding is at 2, so just don't get confused there. Coding is at 2. All right, cool. So now we are just summing up what we have already learned so far. Yeah? The transfer of energy from the sun to the plants to the people is called an energy chain or a food chain. Okay, because energy is passed along from one organism to the next. You guys saw how the sun energy entered the earth. From the earth, the sun energy went to the plant. From the plant, the energy went to the animal because the animal ate the plant. Okay. And then the arrows show the direction of the energy flow from one thing to the next. I think we have it here. Beautiful. Okay, so here we have the grass, okay, which got the energy from the sun or absorbed the sunlight energy. And then the energy moved to the grasshopper because the grasshopper ate the grass, okay? And then the energy moved from the grasshopper to the mouse. How did it move to the mouse? Because the mouse eats the grasshopper. Okay, and then the energy from the mouse moved to the owl because the owl eats the mouse. Okay, so this is what we call a food chain. Okay, so food chain shows us a transfer of energy. Okay. Right, so we have an activity describing the transfer of energy from the sun. Okay, so instructions, look at the following food chain. Here we have our food chain, and then describe the transfer of energy from one organism to the next. Okay, so guys, I will require you to put your hands down. Everyone, just please put your hands down so that we can start over properly. If you do have a question, just type it in the group chat, so then I will answer you, okay? I'll answer your question in the group chat. Can everyone just lower their hands? Thank you. Okay, so for these questions, okay, everyone lower your hand, please. Thank you. Okay. Okay, let's do question 2. It says, describe the transfer of energy from one organism to the next. So you guys can raise your hand if you're willing to describe. Okay, so we is first. Let me see, do you have any new hands? Okay, I see Miracle. Let's try Miracle. Let's see if your mic works. Miracle? Okay, so Miracle, it still doesn't work. Right, so I just want to take new hands, guys. I'm not ignoring you or avoiding you. Let me take Nsako. Let's hear if Nsako can describe the transfer of energy from one organism to the next of this picture. Nsako, just accept on your side. All right, cool. There we go. Nsako?
Ma'am, I was going to ask why cows can't.
Why cows?
Why lions can't eat grass?
Or because they're carnivores. Okay, so their diet is mainly of animals, like eating meat.
Oh, okay.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Cool. All right, so let's go to Zoe. Describe the transfer of energy from one organism to the next. So it's from the caterpillar to the chameleon.
So, ma'am, the sun gives the leaf energy, and then the caterpillar eats the leaf, and then it gets the energy, and then the chameleon eats the caterpillar, and then it gets the energy from the caterpillar, and so on.
All right, beautiful. So I hope everyone heard what Zoe said, and you guys would be able to answer questions like this in tests as well as exams. Okay. So here we say that the plant gets its energy from the sun. The energy is converted to food and it's stored in the leaf. When the caterpillar eats the leaf, we have the transfer of energy taking place. The chameleon then eats the caterpillar as food. Then the energy from the sun that the plant took in is now at the chameleon. All right. So I hope everyone got the answer to that. Right. Okay, so this food chain could be much longer, right? As more organisms eat the previous organisms, the food chain gets longer and the sun's energy is passed further along from one animal to the next. Look at the longer food chain below. And in this food chain, what does the mongoose eat to get energy? What does the mongoose eat to get energy? Okay.
The mongoose eats the chameleon, and then the snake eats the mongoose.
Good. Look at the picture again. Look at the picture again. What does the mongoose eat to get its energy?
Oh, the mongoose eats the snake.
Yeah, boy. Okay, thank you very much, Melinda.
Ma'am, why don't lions eat any what's it called again? Like why does it eat meat only?
Okay, so why do lions only eat meat? Why are lions carnivores, basically?
Yeah.
Okay, so lions prefer that type of diet. Okay. Yes, so lions are predators by nature. They are predators and they choose to go hunt for their prey. All right, so that's why we say that they are carnivores and their diet just mainly includes hunting and eating meat. All right, so they follow a carnivorous diet.
Ma'am, what is your favorite animal? Because my favorite animal is a lion.
My favorite animal, I'm not sure. Hey, I'm not sure. It's probably a dog.
You must say a lion. They're actually kind of nice. Maybe I even want to squish it.
Excuse me?
Their mane is so big, then I even want to squish them.
Okay, please don't try that. Yeah, like just try that on TV, not in real life, please. I'm sure, like, yeah. Okay, Manike. Thank you very much, Ne. Okay, so I see Malik also. Okay, Malik answered, lions don't eat grass, like how we do not eat grass. Okay, and then we have a question from Malik saying, ma'am, why don't we eat grass? Oh, guys, why would you want to eat grass? Like, what nutrients does grass have? You know, certain plants, they are poisonous. Certain plants have substances which are not good for the human body. So that is why we would not eat certain plants and we would eat other plants. Okay. So it's also about the nutrients that we find in the plants and also what the plant contains. If it has harmful or toxic substances, then we would. Okay, so the answer to this question was the snake. Okay, so I think we will continue from this activity tomorrow. Let me just take the hands that we have here. Zoe?
Yes, ma'am.
Your hand is up.
So, ma'am, what happens if the energy gets transferred so many times? Where does it go? Like, where does it stay there completely?
Okay, so it is always transferred. It never stays in one place all the time. Like as you've mentioned, it would go from one plant to an insect, from the insect to the animal, from the animal to another animal, to another animal, to another animal, to a human being. From the human being, it will, if the person or the living thing dies, then it will go back to the soil, right? And then we have decomposition taking place. Sometimes the plant can use up the decomposed body, right, of an animal or of a plant and take up nutrients from that decomposition that has taken place. So energy always moves, okay? So it doesn't stay constant in one place.
So, ma'am,
Right.
it goes from an insect to an animal, to another animal, to another animal, and another, and another, and another, and another, then a human, and then another, and then another, and then another.
Just like that, it keeps on moving, it keeps on moving.
So,
All right.
so
Yeah.
ma'am, even so when that so what happens to the energy when the human eats it? Like how can the plant take back the energy?
From the human.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so if energy ends up at the human being, so you know that human beings, like eventually after some time, they die, right? So sometimes they're taken back to the soil and the body decomposes. We have, I think it's worms that like form and then they eat up the body and stuff like that. So that's how the energy will move from the dead human to the worms, and then from the worms it will move to the soil, from the soil to the plants. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay, guys, thank you very much for joining in class. Like I said, we are going to stop on this slide because time is not on our side. Tomorrow, we're going to look at energy around us, and we're just going to finish up where we left off. Okay, if you need textbooks, you can contact Spotify as well as the Thunderbolt Kids website to get yourself these textbooks. Okay, so if you do have any questions, you can send the school an email at stemdigitalschool@africachangegeeks.co.za. If you need slides, you can just also email me. Right, guys, enjoy your day further and all the best with your assignment today. Goodbye.